all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but today Jacob is back here with me again. So today we're going to be talking about / reacting to the Tinder woman who swiped right. Is it right to say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Swiped right on 100 men and then had them come to a square so she could essentially kind of belittle them, honestly. Well, we'll get to it. But
I feel like social experiments now, it's like, I'm going to be an asshole, but I'm going to use the term social experiment to kind of guise it, you know?
Exactly, and that's what Philip DeFranco said too when he reported on this. Before we get to that though, it's Saturday night, and so I think it's fair for us to toast to losing brain cells.
Yes, quite so.
To you, sir.
And you, sir.
Now with the mass Tinder date scam, dozens of men, they showed up for a date with one woman, only to find out she wanted them to compete for her love. And ABC's Eva Pilgrim is here now with more. And Eva, there are a whole lot of angry men in New York City this morning.
Oh, Paula, this story. Finding your person, love, whatever you want to call it, it isn't easy. If you're single, I don't have to tell you, dating can kind of stink. But one woman took the whole double booking idea to a whole new level, making the dating game more like the Hunger Games for her attention.
Well, I gotta just stop right here. And she's very proud of herself for coming up with that social reference. She's like, hey, if there's mom jokes, that was a mom joke right there.
The Hunger Games. Makes me like her so much less because the whole idea of competition is like, of course you shouldn't sell yourself short, but the idea that you're getting all these people to compete, to fight for you when they don't even really know you, because like she said that she talked to a few of them, but it wasn't like...
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, I think it's shallow, and only someone like insecure, I feel like, needs to have that, you know, validation to be like, oh, these guys are gonna compete for me. Oh my god, I'm so fucking special, man.
You're such a mood.
I know, I am.
I'm also thinking about the double standard, and I don't know if you've been thinking about this too, but I'm just thinking, if a guy did this, can you already hear the feminists, and I'm talking about like the real misandrists, like screaming at the top of their lungs about how like this is like wasting women's time and it's so like misogynistic, and I'm just like, how is this different?
A sea of men waiting, standing around.
Sea of men. Short for semen.
Good one, Jacob. Let's proceed.
All for one woman.
So, as you may or may not know, my name is Natasha, and I have a confession to make for everyone here. Everyone here today was brought here to be on a date with me.
Self-described actress, model, and singer Natasha Aponte swiped right on all these men.
No beer bellies, no long beards, no bald guys, no khakis, no tongs. I don't know why, but I hate tongs.
She chatted.
No beer bellies. No beards. Damn you. You're missing out on the best men. Right here.
I mean, I agree. I totally agree. All of this social experiment to me just screams like, if this were the opposite way, this would be a national scandal.
Yeah.
This would be a
It's
scandal.
like if a guy were to come, a guy were to go and be like, no C cups, you know, like,
yeah, no, like
flat bellies only. You know,
exactly. Exactly. And it's the same thing. And I've mentioned this about Twitter, you know, where like women are like, men ain't shit or men are trash or whatever. And then anytime a man is like, I want a woman who's so and so, people shit on it.
I understand preference in terms of what you're attracted to.
Right.
But I think going about it this way is just so shallow. It's rude. It's fucking rude, man.
But it's just propagating the wrong idea of what dating is supposed to be like. All of this is so materialistic and superficial. None of this is like, what are your morals? What are your priorities in life? There are no serious questions being asked here. That's the thing that stands out the most.
I feel bad for the winner because he's probably like, oh, I did all that for this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
exactly.
Come to find out she's, you know,
a a piece of shit, probably. Yeah, okay.
With them online, talking to some of them months ago, and then told them, all of them individually, to meet her in Union Square for what they thought was a one-on-one date.
Some crazy social experiment is happening.
But much to their surprise, when they showed up, there were dozens and dozens of others. Perhaps most surprising, they would be competing against each other for Natasha's love, from foot races to tests of strength, along with a string of odd questions.
I thought it was a pretty elaborate ruse. It didn't occur to me, I guess, the scale of it immediately. But at first I was just like, oh, she tricked a bunch of people.
Misha was one of the dates, but left when he realized what was going on.
And I think a lot of people are probably ashamed to be there. So I think some people just quietly walked away. But it was a strangely obedient audience for the little bit of time I stayed.
Next,
I think I would have done what this guy did. And just like, if I didn't notice what was going on, I would just be like, what the, I'm just going to go home and play PlayStation. Or work on my beer belly and my beard a little bit. But I think it is strange that people were willing to do this, to like subject themselves to that. Do you not have any self-respect at all?
Essentially, this is all like a, I guess, Walmart version of The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
It's a Walmart version of that, except that nobody knows, so it's even worse because people don't know what the fuck they're signing up for. In The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, they know they're going to go against people, and they decide, hey, I'm going to degrade myself right now, drink a lot of wine, and go for this person. Fine. They chose that. But here, there's this disgusting kind of question of, they didn't choose this. Yeah. Like, and it's really sad to me because as much as we can laugh about how ridiculous this whole situation is, for some of these guys, this might have been a really big deal. And especially since Jacob and I met on Tinder, like for me, meeting up with you was a big deal. If it had been a joke like this, that would have been traumatizing to me. And I'm not saying that everyone was traumatized, but we also can't underestimate how people felt about this and how shitty it would feel. That is so fucking, and I'm sorry to say this because like, I know I'm gonna sound like one of those crazy feminists, but this is problematic and sexist at the same time. Because if this had been a man and he asked women to come out in their bikinis and show their bikini bodies or do whatever feminine, I don't know what feminine races there are, bikini contests and what else? I don't know. How you flip your ponytail? I don't know. Well, anyway, if this had been a man asking women to do that, this would have been called disgusting a million times, but here it's just kind of like funny, and even the news host was kind of laughing about it, and I'm like, it's not funny though.
All the guys under 5'10" axed. All the guys looking for just a hookup also asked to leave. She reportedly did pick a winner, but no word yet who it is. Aponte pulling off the whole stunt with the help of Rob Bliss, the man behind viral videos like this infamous anti-harassment catcalling video from 2014. That video's been viewed more than 47 million times.
Okay, so the reaction so far is pretty varying. Men have actually taken to her Instagram to blast her for this stunt. Did she find love? We don't know yet. We'll find out on Thursday. That's when the official release of the video is happening. But this is the thing. That girl is not going to be able to find a date in New York or the world for like a while.
It's hard enough.
Well,
I think
she's going to be just fine. I mean, I don't understand why guys just didn't walk away, but I did notice when the young gentleman said, well, a lot of them, they were obedient. You two just busted out laughing. George and I were sitting there like...
Well, I don't know what it says about men that they just decided they would sit there.
Do you think it's the competitive nature that kicks in? Like, oh, I'm going to compete for this woman. I don't know if I want her, but I want to compete. Men just like to compete? No?
Did you see George's face right there that said it all? No.
Not strangely obedient. Not strangely obedient, these two. Eva, thank you. What a talker this is. Tomorrow, we will talk exclusively. We're going to talk more about this because the woman behind the event, as well as the man who shot the video, are going to meet. Join us.
I have plenty of questions.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we have some questions tomorrow.
I don't like the two female newscasters. I think they're like, go get him, girl. They're like calling men like obedient and like being like treating it like, I don't know what this says about men.
Yeah, and that's not fair. But I do think that the men who stayed there were either desperate or like something was up. Because if I were told that I was part of this like grand scheme of a fucking social experiment, I don't think I'd stay for 1 second. I'd just be like, okay, goodbye.
Same.
So I think that the men that did stay, I think either they really thought there was a connection with her or there's a problem. But that's not all men, so you can't just say, oh, all men are so obedient.
Yeah, way to weed out the actually decent men who walked away. Good for you. Now you got the egotistical ones competing for you. It's like,
Exactly. I honestly feel like the men who walked away are probably the ones whom are
more down to earth.
just like the best ones, quote unquote, in terms of morality, in terms of ego, in terms of confidence, in terms of self-worth. I think the ones that walked away are the best ones because they can tell, like, hey, I'm not a trophy, I'm a person, and I'm not going to break my back in half for someone who doesn't give a shit about me.
Not only that, there's like the woman newscaster was like, does she find love? You know, maybe we'll find out. It's like, no, she's not looking for love here. This is an experiment that she's doing for publicity.
So the person who made that 2014 thing of that woman being catcalled, I think he wants attention and he used this model, actress, whatever, for attention. But
it's kind of baffling that she got 100 matches in such a short time.
well, they did say across a couple of months, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Wow. When I was on Tinder with you, I think you were like one of my only handful of matches.
Okay, well.
Swipe of a lifetime.
The right match is the right match. Do you have any final thoughts? Like, anything you want to say?
You're rude. This is directed to her. You're rude. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh my God. Do you really think that winner is a winner in the sense that, like, she wants to spend her life or spend a relationship, like a long-term relationship with this person, or is it all an egotistical thing? Because if it's a social experiment, it's like, why would you have to pick a winner, quote unquote? Because it's not like it matters.
I can't imagine how that date would go. She'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe you competed for me. So why did you compete for me? Tell me about what you like about me.
I definitely feel like that's what would happen, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's so sad. Because she's making women look bad in this whole kind of like feminist attempt of like, let's take charge. It's just like, no, you look like a bitch. Yeah. You really do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always. And let's get right into the fan art.